So you did this documentary because you were talking about this stuff.
They were doing a documentary on me. They were working title called Tommy Takedown. I then sent someone into them and I made a documentary called Panodrama, which the documentary was about how the BBC lie and how they destroy the name of anyone who challenges the government's narrative. That's their job. And then I exposed it in the documentary. And that's the reason within 48 hours, as I said, I wasn't just sent back to prison, but I was also censored off of every social media. Every social media.
Yeah, because I saw an interview. You almost died in prison. Was it that time, or were you in jail more than once?
Yeah, I've been in jail a few times. Yeah.
For what? What'd you?
For
was it always political stuff, or was
political? One prison sentence when I was 20 for an ABH on a off duty.
What's an ABH?
Fighting.
Fighting. Okay.
When I was 20.
Irish, huh?
Yeah. And it was an off-duty police officer, so I got 12 months. And then, but all the rest of it's all political.
Dang, you were fighting and you got an off-duty police officer?
Yeah, an off-duty.
That's just unlucky.
I know. An off-duty police officer who admitted that he attacked me.
Okay.
But when he went on the floor, I kicked him. So you have levels of self-defense. And I overstepped the mark of self-defense.
Oh.
So I was acting in self-defense to defend myself. But then when I beat him and he was on the floor, I kicked him in the face.
Oh, and you can't do that?
No.
Oh.
No, that overstepped.
Well, that's how you found out you're in jail. Yeah. So, okay.
And then, So that's what I'm in jail for. But the rest of them have all been to do with political activism or journalism.
So how many times have you been to jail for journalism?
I'm facing 2 years now for journalism. I'm facing 3-month sentence in 2 weeks at court, and I'm facing a 2-year sentence for creating a documentary.
Really?
Yeah. I created a documentary called Silenced. It's insane. If you actually watch this film, you can see why they won't lock me up for it. There was a story in the north of England where a young Syrian refugee child had a bottle of water poured over him in the playground, and it hit world news. I mean, world news. He had his arm in a plaster cast, and they said that he had his arm broken in a similar racist attack, and he was the victim of racism. And all of this bottle of water he got poured over him in the playground, which the video went viral. It was on CNN, it was on Piers Morgan's show, it was on every news channel, Australia, ABC, everywhere in the world, pumped this story. And at the time, some parents rang me up from the school and girls at the school. I said, this isn't the truth. Yeah? He's a little bastard. He attacks girls. He does this. He does that. So then I spoke to mum. I spoke to a mum who sent me pictures of her daughter who had bit her face. I spoke to another mum whose daughter had been beat with a hockey stick by him. And then I made a video. And £160,000 had been donated to the Syrian refugee in 24 hours. So I made a video saying to the public, this one had social media, saying you're actually being lied to. This whole thing's a lie. Yeah. And he wasn't a victim of racism.
Well, and that happens a lot where like a clip will come out and everybody rushes to one person's defense. And then when the facts actually come out, then we find out there's more to the story. Maybe someone like hit first or something else.
The problem with this was.
And so you got jail time? Or you?
So the Syrian refugee was invited to Parliament by our Home Secretary. Okay. He was everywhere, yeah? So once they'd gone full into the story, they couldn't afford the truth to come out. So when I made my video, they sent legal letters and lawyers to sue me to take the video down. I refused to take the video down. I said, it's the truth. I stand by it. They then took me through the courts. And then the mum who said her daughter was beat up, she retracted her statement and put out a statement. So I thought, what's going on here? I wondered why none of the school teachers were teaching, were telling the truth, because I knew what he was like at school. But he was portrayed as this perfect pupil on the news.
Well, because I bet it was too... It's like for normal people that aren't in media, aren't in journalism, it's too much of a hassle, I would imagine. So it's like if they come out and tell the truth and they have the government after them.
So everyone just shut up.
Yeah, no, I could see why they would do it from there. You're saying they took back the statements, right?
No, she took back the statements. So I went and wore a hidden camera and I knocked on her door and said, just, what's happened? She said, Tommy, they're threatening to rape me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I got it on camera. I said, who's threatening to rape you? She said, Tommy. So, and the leader of the council and then I went to 7 teachers' houses, all on covert recordings, and they all took money. They're all paid. The Asian teacher comes out and says, Tommy, I took the money. I said, what do you mean you took money? He said, they paid us. I said, how much did they pay you? He goes, I got £18,000. And it's all on camera. I said, who paid you £18,000? He said, Kirklees Council. I said, okay. So I looked at who was the head of Kirklees Council. It's a Muslim gentleman whose brother's the main lead extremist Islamic radical in the area. So the Muslims are in control of the council. So all the teachers were paid silencing money. They used a Muslim celebrity lawyer to come after me. Yeah. So, but I put all this on the documentary. I show all of it. I got all the school records that prove the boy was caught with a knife and screwdriver at school. He stabbed someone. He stabbed someone. The school records used the word stabbed. Now, all I said is that he threatened to stab someone in my video. They sued me. They took me to court. So when I produced all these covert recordings and all the footage, which I made into a film, I produced it to the head judge of the High Court, and he gave me an injunction saying if the public are ever shown any of this footage, then you receive 2-year prison sentence. So I made it into a film, and the film went out in March, and in November, the Attorney General contacted my solicitors to say they want to instigate prosecution against me for breaching their injunction, which is the 2 years, for a film. They took me through the court. They bankrupted me for 1.6 million. All off of this lie, which I've got all the evidence is a lie. The film proves it's a lie. The covert recordings prove that everyone was paid to lie. So obviously that's a deep level of deep state involvement in controlling the narrative of a story. The reason why they want to control narrative is because it pumped an open border immigration, poor Syrian victim, horrible English racist white bullies, and they pumped that story to the world. And essentially the evidence that I gathered from school teachers in covert recordings proved the whole thing was a lie. And if that was a lie, the question I asked myself at the time is, if this entire story is a lie, how many other stories are a lie?
Yeah.
That are to push a narrative.
Well, that's how it's weird because everything I was taught in school wasn't true.
Yeah, I know.
It's like weird being in my
everything now.
Yeah, it's weird being like alive in this time period because I was thinking about how you go to school and you don't even know if they're telling you the truth.
But they're lying.
Yeah, they are.
I said if they lied about, if you look at conflicts, if they lied about September 11th, if they lied about Afghanistan, if they lied about weapons of mass destruction, if they lied about every justification.
Do you think they lied about September 11th?
I don't believe that. I don't believe the narrative I've been fed, and the more I look at the evidence of it, it's totally. I don't believe 19 Saudis flew those planes into Twin Towers. And if 19 Saudis did fly those planes to Twin Towers, why the fuck did you invade Iraq?
So who do you think did it?
Who do I think did it?
Yeah.
I believe that the war machine of the military complex who want war and need war.
So like the American government, you think did it?
I believe whether they did it or allowed it to happen.
Okay, so you think the American government...
I believe that at that time, there was no public support for an invasion of any countries in the Middle East by the American public. After September 11th, the next day, there was mass support by the public and justification. And that the plan for, we see from WikiLeaks, the plan for the Afghanistan and Iraq and all these conflicts was not for a war to bring about change. It was for an everlasting war because then the military complex continued to make profit. There's continued profit in war. I believe that's the same with Ukraine now, what they're trying to do in Ukraine. I believe, and I believe the more you look at it, which is why I think we were told there was weapons of mass destruction. Tony Blair's a war criminal, yet here he is leading massive institutions now. Even now, he should be in jail. 1 million people innocently killed in Iraq, in the invasion of those countries. And we were fed so much bullshit at the time. And if we're fed bullshit about that war, and now I know we're being fed bullshit about Ukraine. That's the European Union expansionist ideas. We have disrupted a legitimate democracy in that country. We want that country. We want war with Russia. When I say we, the American, the British, the cabal that control everything.
So you think the American, the cabal? Who's the cabal?
Who's the cabal?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is?
Sorry.
BlackRock.
I told you.
BlackRock, a major institution,
it's
businesses
like
and corporations that control everything, that control, they just got the contract to rebuild Ukraine. They fucking started the war.
Okay,
so I believe there's corporations that are, but do you believe, do you believe Joe Biden is going to control the United States of America? Do you believe,
I don't even think he's there. No, I don't think he's all the way there.
So how is he controlling the United States? So who is controlling it?
I don't know.